There are many ways to play characters and individuals in D&D, and there are some rules for an aspect that some people enjoy, such as the curse of lycanthropy. Of course, it's a little bit bare bones, and so not much is done with it. But this one individual, the author is C.F. Ald, decided to create a subclass around this and kind of the aspects of it. Hello, welcome back, or welcome to TIS. I am Dicity, and you are hearing me speak again, or for the first time. Whichever it is, welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope you had a great Christmas, and you're going to have a wonderful New Year's Eve party, wherever you are, and a wonderful New Year. Let's see what the next year brings. Let's not rush into anything, though, alright? But, in any way, we are onto the Ranger subclass. This was called the Moon Hunter. It's an all-new Ranger archetype based on the moon and the goddess Selune, which is, I think, an elven moon goddess, which should be interesting. So as we do things here, we read through it, then we do a review, and then on Saturday we do a lore crafting around it, which that should be interesting too. And then I have streams and doing some writing and stuff. So without further ado, let's get into the, I was gonna say review, but no, not the review. Let's read it over. Sorry. Alright. The Moon Hunter, an all-new Ranger archetype based on the moon and the goddess Selune, by C.F. Ald. DM's Guild, page 1, cover, page 2, table of contents, page 3, features, page 4, new Ranger spells. Ooh, Ranger spells, cool. Nice. Alright, Moon Hunter Ranger archetype. A ranger excels in many terrains, but the Moon Hunter excels when bathed in the glory of Selune, the moon of Toril. The Moon Hunter fights back darkness and evil, especially undead, whom Selune despises. Selune is also the goddess of good aligned lycanthropes, and offers her rangers some of their power. Following the moon. Eyes of the Owl. At 3rd level, rangers who choose this archetype are granted the abilities of Selune's favored animal, the owl. Dark vision. You are granted by Selune the ability to see 120 feet at night as if it were a bright full moon out. If the ranger already has dark vision, it is increased by 60 extra feet. Flyby. You are also able to move in and out of combat without provoking attacks of opportunity, as long as you move, strike, and move away in one turn. Twilight's Blessing. When you take this archetype, you are also granted the ability to create a weapon made from light of the moon for short periods of time. The blessing can take any form of weapon the ranger is proficient with when called into being. While melee weapons are common, some rangers prefer making a bow, allowing them to shoot arrows of pure moonlight. In either form, the weapon lasts for 1 minute and is considered magical, regardless of weapon type. Twilight's Blessing does 2d6 plus Wisdom modifier in damage. Any undead suffer an additional 2d6 damage from being hit by this weapon. Doesn't say what the damage type is. Interesting. You may create the blessing as many times as your Wisdom modifier. These uses replenish after a long rest. Interesting. Ranger bonus spells. Ranger level spells. 3rd level is Hand Fire, which is a new spell. 5th level is Misty Step. 9th level is Strength of the Beast. I think that's a new spell too. 13th level is Wall of Moonlight, and 17th level is Moon Path. So those last 3 and the first one are all new spells, which I'll go over in a little bit too. Touched by the moon. Traveling in Selune's silver light has given the ranger greater understanding of good and evil. By 7th level, the Moon Hunter can no longer be frightened and is immune to any spell or ability that tries to do so. Interesting. Moonstruck. At 11th level, the Moon Hunter can strike by shooting a beam of moonlight from their hands. The beam can travel for 60 feet and hit with the brilliance of Selune herself, dealing 4d8 radiant damage to anyone caught in the 5-foot wide beam. Undead creatures take an additional 2d8 damage. This feature can be used a number of times equal to the Ranger's Wisdom modifier and replenishes after a long rest. Very interesting. Turning the tide. The moon controls the tides of the ocean. Upon reaching 15th level, the Moon Hunter taps into this ability and can cast Control Water once per day using Wisdom as your spellcasting ability modifier. Interesting. And the new spells. Handfire of first level evocation, casting time of 1 action, range of self, components of verbal and somatic, duration until dispelled or used. This spell creates small sparkles and motes of moonlight, centered on the hand of the caster. They offer about the same light as a candle. When the caster touches a creature, or if anyone touches the hand while the spell is activated, the target receives 1d6 radiant damage, 2d6 to undead. The spell remains in effect until discharged or until the end of a long rest. If the caster sleeps with Handfire activated and holds an item while doing so, anyone trying to take that item receives the above listed damage. Interesting. Strength of the Beast, a 3rd level transmutation spell, casting time of 1 action, range of self, components verbal and somatic, duration of 1 minute. Selune is the goddess of lycanthropes, and she can imbue her rangers with her power. The ranger gains the ability of Keen Smell, granting advantage on perception rolls that would include smell. The ranger is immune to attacks not made with silver for the duration. For the duration of the spell, and have advantage on all strength-based ability checks and saving throws. Interesting. Wall of Moonlight, 4th level evocation, casting time of 1 action, range of 120 feet. Components verbal, somatic, and material. The material is a moonstone worth 50 gold pieces. Duration is concentration up to 1 minute. You can make a wall of moonlight 6 inches thick, 20 feet high, and 60 feet long. Alternatively, you can circle the moonlight around you in a 20-foot diameter. The wall does not need an anchor, but it must stand upright. Good and neutral aligned creatures can pass harmlessly through the wall, but evil creatures take 2d4 radiant damage from contact. Undead take 3d6 from contact. Finally, the wall illuminates any magic items that pass through its surface, causing them to glow red for the duration of the spell. Very interesting. And finally, Moon Path, 5th level conjuration, casting time of 1 minute, range of 60 feet, casting time of 1 action, range of 60 feet, components material, a moonstone worth 50 gold pieces, duration concentration up to 10 minutes. The Moon Path spell creates a bridge or staircase that can span 60 feet anchored in 2 spots. It can be used to cross chasms or gain access to higher locations. Anyone on the path has advantage on all saving throws. They are also under the same protections afforded by the protection of evil from evil and good spell. Anyone on the path when the duration ends, or if concentration is broken, falls from whatever height they are at, suffering 1d6 bludgeoning damage for every 10 feet fallen. Very, very interesting. I kind of wish there was a little more lycanthropic stuff, but on to the review itself. Let me navigate back to it. It's a pretty cool idea of using moon-based powers to kind of protect against some things. I'm trying to think if it makes sense for this class. I think so. I think if you tweak it a little bit, it could work a little better because rangers I think of are always on the border between civilization and wilderness. And so they're trying to protect both sides, keep the balance or whatever, while druids are more focused on like just the wilderness, and all the others are kind of more focused on like civilization. So maybe something like their purpose is to like they travel around defeating undead, and because they know that can mess with things, and also evil lycanthropes or something like that. But besides that, that's cool. The features are interesting. I like the Eyes of the Owl and the Flyby. The Flyby could be a little overpowering, depending. I feel like Twilight's Blessing is definitely overpowered. I think first it should be like, well, they should tell what the damage is, damage type. What's the to hit? Is it your wisdom plus your proficiency? Because if it's 2d6 plus wisdom, then it probably is wisdom. But I would feel like it should be maybe 1d8, because that's quite a bit of damage there. And I don't think it should be wisdom modifier. I feel like it should be proficiency bonus, so it's not as much at lower levels. The spells are pretty interesting. The Touched by the Moon. No longer frightened. That's pretty nice. Moonstruck is pretty cool. I think Moonstruck can be fine as a wisdom modifier. Turning the Tide is pretty cool. Controlling water, that's interesting. Can definitely be powerful depending. The spells themselves, Moonpath is interesting. Very situational. Handfire is interesting. I feel like you should be able to use it a couple times before it's dispelled or whatever. Strength of the Beast is interesting. A Wall of Moonlight is interesting as well. As I said, I would like to see more like lycanthropic stuff. Maybe some like additional like possible abilities of like maybe you get like a strength of like a good werewolf or something like that, or the hide of a werebear, so you're like temporary hit points or whatever. But you can always flavor spells like that if you like do like 8 or something. But I think it's pretty cool. I'd love to see it in play. I do think the like moonlight weapons are a little overpowered, especially at lower levels. Maybe at higher levels they increase in damage, so instead of like feeling like you have to do like a magic item, maybe it like kind of scales along with that for like fighters or wizards or whatever, or casters, whereas like it's not like overpowered at the low levels. Let's see here. Anything else? Of course not too. I don't think it's too similar to any others. Ranger subclass. I don't think it should be. Could maybe be. I think it's pretty good as a ranger itself. Let's see here. Of course, Give Me Your Mind, my sister's D&D inspired bar idea. Whenever that comes out, just getting the ball rolling for that. I am doing a little bit of writing, which is fun. And then let's see here. What else? I'm doing a little bit of writing. I'm doing my stream Neverwinter and Lego Star Wars. Last week I didn't do Lego Star Wars because I was busy with hanging out with friends. I think I should be fine this Friday. I'm pretty sure. Let's see here. Anything else? Now I can do it Wednesday. I've been playing some Neverwinter with friends with another character. Probably after we're done with that, I'll show you it in stream. If you're interested in my streams, comment down below or email me, or join my Discord server there, or do whatever. Comment below your thoughts on the Ranger. Next week we are going on to the Rogue, and it's called the Bandit, which is interesting. Which is probably what it sounds like. I haven't really looked into that much. On Saturday we're doing the lore crafting. New Year's Eve, that's fun. Anything else? Not that I can think of. Of course, like, comment, subscribe, share if you want to, and I will see you in the next video. This idiot, out.